Okay, so we are going to be creating three-dimensional shapes. You guys are going to choose 5 different shapes. They can be any shape that you would like. You can do squares, circles, triangles, rectangles, hexagons. You can get creative and do moons and stars. But we're going to start you out, and you are going to create a horizon line. So you're going to take your ruler and you're going to put it across the paper the horizontal way and create that horizon line, which is the separation of the ground and the sky, and you're going to create a vanishing point. From there, you're going to draw your 5 shapes. Okay, you need 2 above the horizon line, 2 below the horizon line, and 1 in the middle. Any shapes that you want. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to draw the lines that recede to the vanishing point. Okay, and that's what's going to make this change from a shape to a 3-dimensional looking form. Okay, so what you're going to do, I'm going to start you off with a square. I'm going to take the ruler, I'm going to line it up with the vanishing point and the corner of the square here, and I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to stop when I get to that corner. I'm going to keep on going, so I'm going to go to the next one, take my ruler, stop once I get to that corner, and I'm going to keep on going, and I have this one finished. I didn't do this one. The reason why is this is going to be a solid shape, so if this was clear, then I would draw that other line and you would be able to see through it, but since it's solid, we're not going to do that. I'm going to continue with all my shapes and draw my receding lines first. So every single time I get to a corner of the shape, that's when I'm going to draw the receding line. Okay? I'm not doing this end of the star, again, because if my ruler goes over top of the shape, I know that I don't need to do that because the shape is not see-through. Okay? So let's check this one. Nope, it's going to go over top of, I think I would go here, and then I would stop once I get to about here. Okay? And then here. They kind of line up with each other. And then I would do the inside of the star right here. This is the tricky one. And the inside of this star, I don't think I'll really need it because I wouldn't see it because it would overlap that. Okay? The other tricky one is the circle. So I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to line it up again with the vanishing point, and I'm going to move it until it hits the edge of the circle. And then I'm going to do the other side. And then I'm going to do the moon. Same thing, very similar to how you did the circle. Line it up with that vanishing point and go towards the edge of the circle or the edge of the moon. I'm going to move that until I hit that shape, so it's that very edge, and I'm going to draw that line. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off these shapes. They're not going to all recede. I forgot this one. Let me do this one really quick. So how I'm going to do that is I need to finish it off. So I'm going to decide where it stops. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to set it up to the edge of the square. Okay, so it's parallel with that. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to move it down, and I'm going to decide how thick I would want that cube. And I'm going to draw that side. So these two sides match. They are parallel to each other. Now I need to take the ruler and put it horizontally because I need to have the top part of the square match the back part. All right, so I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to slide it back until I hit this part right here and draw that line. Okay, so now I have a cube. I want to erase this line that goes on towards the horizon line. So I'm going to take my eraser, erase those lines, and I have my cube. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the star. This is the tricky one. So I want to start with the bottom of the star, I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to measure up with the side of that star, slide it down, and I'm going to draw that first line. I'm going to do the same thing at the top part of the star. I'm going to follow that line. I'm going to find right where it matches. And these two lines are parallel. Okay? Now, there really isn't a whole lot I would do here because this would be overlapped. You wouldn't see it. And again, here, the only part that I would see is probably the inside. So this part right here, I'm going to end it off to be right here. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase my lines. And I am going to now do the circle. The edge of the circle is going to match the edge of the circle on the other side, so I'm just going to match that curving line. Okay? Same thing here. I'm going to match that curving line and erase and erase. All right, and last one. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is we are going to be adding value to our shapes. Okay, so how we're going to do that, I want to make sure that I erase the horizon line there. That would cover it. All right, so now how we're going to do that is we're going to do shading. All right, so when I shade the sides of these, I'm going to have the front of the shapes the lighter value, and the sides of the shapes are going to be that darker value. Okay, so I'm going to take my pencil, and when I shade, I want it to match the edge of the square. So this line goes up and down. I want my pencil to do the same thing. If I just went like this, it kind of tends to flatten it. So I have a tendency to kind of think about what the direction of that shape is, and that's how I'm going to do the shading, okay? And as it starts to move away from me, I'm going to put a little bit of a darker value, and it gives that illusion of depth, okay? So now I'm going to do the top. I'm going to do it a little bit lighter. But again, I'm putting a little bit of a darker value the farthest away, and then as I come up, it's a little bit lighter. This side of the square, I'm going to do a little bit darker. I'm going to do that to all of my shapes. So if you look at what I have here, I added value to all of them. The bottom of the circle has the darker value, and then as it curves up, the medium value. And then this is how I did the star. This is how I did this triangle. So your assignment is to do 5 different shapes, any shapes that you want, 2 up above, 2 down below. You need to give it that depth. You need to give it value to make it look 3-dimensional. All right.